I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, everyone, good evening and welcome to our January organizational meeting. And thank you for your patience in us getting started. Vicki, start us with the roll call, please.
Councilman Bowdre?
Here.
Councilman Hoyt?
Yes, here.
Councilman Lewandowski is absent. Councilman DeShane?
Here.
And Supervisor Dudley?
Here. All right, we're going to start with our organizational meeting packet that we have before us. The first agenda item is the supervisors committee appointments, which I've let the board know I'm actually going to be making those in February, not this evening. For supervisors appointments, for town bookkeeper, Wendy J. Ashley, deputy supervisor, Lisa Dooley, and town historian, Ann Kiley. All right, for town clerk appointments,
Deputy Town Clerk and Deputy Registrar, Becky Snyder. Becky Snyder Green.
okay. All right, resolution number 1 of 2023, that the town board of the town of Grafton does A, confer the benefits of section 18 of the public officers law of the state of New York upon the employees of the town of Grafton, and B, will thereafter be held liable for the cost incurred under the provisions of section 18. I'd like to make a motion to adopt resolution 1. May I have a second?
I'll second that.
Seconded by Councilwoman DeShane.
Councilman Bowdre?
Yes.
Councilman Hoyt?
Yes.
Councilwoman DeShane?
Yes.
And Supervisor Dudley?
Yes. Resolution number 2 of 2023, appointing Philip J. Danaher as the attorney to the town of Grafton, effective January 1st, 2023, at the rate of $12,000 annually as per the 2023 budget. I'd like to make a motion to adopt resolution 2, appointing attorney Danaher. May I have a second?
I'll second.
I heard Pierce first, we'll give him that one. Seconded by Councilman Hoyt.
Councilman Bowdre?
Yes.
Councilman Hoyt?
Yes.
Councilwoman DeShane?
Yes.
And Supervisor Dudley?
Yes. Resolution number 3 of 2023, appointing Victoria Burdick as dog control officer for the town of Grafton, effective January 1st, 2023, at the rate of $3,000 annually as per the 2023 budget. I'd like to make a motion to adopt resolution 3. May I have a second?
I'll second it.
Seconded by Councilman Bowdre.
Councilman Bowdre?
Yes.
Councilman Hoyt?
Yes.
Councilwoman DeShane?
Yes.
And Supervisor Dudley?
Yes. Resolution number 4 of 2023, appointing Helen Hemmendinger as clerk to the assessor, effective January 1st, 2023, at the rate of $10,900 annually, as per the 2023 budget. I'd like to make a motion to adopt resolution 4. May I have a second?
I'll second.
Seconded by Councilwoman DeShane.
Councilman Bowdre?
Yes.
Councilman Hoyt?
Yes.
Councilwoman DeShane?
Yes.
And Supervisor Dudley?
Yes. All right, resolution number 5. Yes. Resolution number 5 of 2023, appointing Thomas Witkowski as planning board chairman for the town of Grafton, effective January 1st, 2023, at the rate of $1,500 annually, as per the 2023 budget. I'd like to make a motion to adopt resolution 5. May I have a second?
I'll second it.
Seconded by Councilman Bowdre.
Councilman Bowdre?
Yes.
Councilman Hoyt?
Yes.
Councilwoman DeShane?
Yes.
Supervisor Dudley?
Yes. Resolution number 6 of 2023, appointing Linda J. Labway as as planning board secretary for the town of Grafton, effective 1/1/2023, at the rate of $1,000 annually, as per the 2023 budget. I'd like to make a motion to appoint Linda Labway planning board secretary. May I have a second?
Second.
Seconded by Councilman Hoyt.
Councilman Bowdre?
Yes.
Councilman Hoyt?
Yes.
Councilwoman DeShane?
Yes.
And Supervisor Dudley?
Yes. Resolution number 7. Is this a skip, kids?
No, surprise, and I can't do this for me.
Arthur. Arthur, yeah. Okay. That's the term, okay. Resolution number 7 of 2023, appointing Arthur Surprise as planning board member for the town of Grafton, effective January 1st, 2023, through December 31st, 2027, at the rate of $781.25 annually, as per the 2023 budget. I would like to make a motion to adopt Resolution 7. May I have a second?
I'll second.
Seconded by Councilwoman DeShane.
Councilman Bouldry,
Yes.
Councilman Hoyt,
Yes.
Councilwoman DeShane,
Yes.
Supervisor Leonard.
Yes. Yes. All right, resolution number 8 is regarding naming the official newspaper for the town. I was thinking if we named the Advertiser as well, the Eastwood Press, the Advertiser, and the Record. My thought on that was, excuse me, it has a big circulation, it's,
Advertiser, definitely.
And
How
they-
many really use the record?
right, we maybe
I
just
mean,
leave the
I don't
Record out.
know. Definitely, I agree with the advertiser.
I think it has a lot of coverage in the western end of the town too, where the Eastwood covers a lot of, the whole town plus
Yeah.
east. So resolution number 8 of 2023, naming the Eastwood Press and the Advertiser as the official papers for the town of Grafton effective January 1st, 2023. I'd like to make a motion to adopt resolution 8. May I have a second?
I'll second.
Seconded by Councilman Bouldry.
Councilman Bouldry,
Yes.
Councilman Hoyt,
Yes.
Councilwoman DeShane,
Yes.
Supervisor Leonard.
Yes. Resolution number 9 of 2023, appointing Jolene Crandall as the court clerk for the town of Grafton effective January 1st, 2023, at the rate of $7,500 annually, as per the 2023 budget. I'd like to make a motion to adopt resolution 9 of 2023. May I have a second? Seconded by Councilman Hoyt.
Councilman Bouldry,
Yes.
Councilman Hoyt,
Yes.
Councilwoman DeShane,
Yes.
Supervisor Leonard.
Yes. We have resolution number 10 of 2023, appointing Tom Lefesky as Building and Code Enforcement Officer for the town of Grafton, effective January 1st, 2023, at the rate of $16,480 annually, as per the 2023 budget. I'd like to make a motion appointing Tom Lefesky as Building and Code Enforcement Officer,
I'll second.
seconded by Councilwoman DeShane.
Councilman Bouldry,
Yes.
Councilman Hoyt,
Yes.
Councilwoman DeShane,
Yes.
and Supervisor Leonard.
Yes. Okay. Who have we had in the past for the, between the two of them, senior citizen representatives and?
I feel like. Betty's Betty. I don't know Betty's how.
I don't know.
But neither lady are here tonight, so let's table this one. I think one is Merrymakers and the other is, but they're,
Yeah.
let's table resolution 11.
Do you want to table or just omit it because this is the organizational meeting? Like, in a regular meeting, you table it,
Okay,
but you're just omitting it to deal with it at a later date.
is that the protocol for it?
Yeah.
Okay, that sounds fine by me. So we're gonna omit resolution 11? Do I need a second on that, Bill, or can we just omit?
No? Everyone's all right with it?
Yep.
Yes.
Consensus, yep.
Would we give it a resolution number or?
No.
would we
I
just-
feel like it's catchy.
Skip it, just skip it.
Just
Right,
skip it.
and Linda's the Merrymakers and
I feel
They
Kathy.
may do the next one too, right? They may have to do the same thing or no?
Yeah, we're gonna have to omit this one.
You're gonna want to omit the next one too,
Yes,
right?
yes. So we're omitting, and we're not assigning numbers, so
Right.
we're going to 11 next, but not. Okay, so these are omitted.
Okay, so we're gonna go back, we're gonna stay with 11.
11 would be the petty cash fund?
Yeah.
Yes.
I know, right?
Resolution number 11 of 2023, establishing a petty cash fund of $150 for the town clerk. I'd like to make a motion to adopt resolution 11. May I have a second?
I'll second.
Councilman Bouldry,
Yes.
Councilman Hoyt,
Yes.
Councilwoman DeShane.
Yes.
Supervisor Leonard.
Yes. Excuse me. Resolution number 12 of 2023, establishing a petty cash fund of $100 for the recycling center. I'd like to make a motion to adopt resolution 12. May I have a second?
Second.
Seconded by Councilman Hoyt.
Councilman Bouldry,
Yes.
Councilman Hoyt,
Yes.
Councilwoman DeShane.
Yes.
Supervisor Leonard.
Yes. Resolution 13 of 2023, establishing a petty cash fund of $100 for the town justices. I'd like to make a motion to adopt resolution 13. May I have a second?
I'll second.
Seconded by Councilwoman DeShane.
Councilman Councilman Baldry,
Yes.
Councilman Hoyt,
Yes.
Councilwoman DeShane.
Yes.
Supervisor Duncan.
Yes.
Madam Supervisor, I think the next one is, if Jared, you talked about this too, $300 instead of $500?
Yeah, I'm okay with whatever. I usually don't spend much more than 30.
That's what we heard, so
Yeah,
is that okay? So this would be 300 instead of 500.
that's fine.
All right. Resolution number 14 of 2023, establishing a petty cash fund of $300 for the highway department. I'd like to make a motion to adopt resolution 14. May I have a second?
I'll second.
Councilman Baldry,
Yes.
Councilman Hoyt,
Yes.
Councilwoman DeShane.
Yes.
Supervisor Duncan.
Yes. Do we want to omit this one too until we see what we're doing? Yes? I would think so too.
Yeah.
All right, we're going to omit the next resolution that appears sequentially. 65.5 cents per mile. Wow, I was wondering that. All right, resolution number 15 of 2023 establishes the mileage reimbursement rate at 65.5 cents per mile. I'd like to make a motion to adopt resolution number 15.
I'll second.
Second by Councilman DeShane.
Councilman Baldry,
Yes.
Councilman Hoyt,
Yes.
Councilwoman DeShane.
Yes.
And Supervisor Duncan.
Yes. Resolution 16 of 2023 establishes a $35 charge for all return checks to the town of Grafton for insufficient funds. I'd like to make a motion to adopt resolution 16. May I have a second?
I'll second that.
Second by Councilman Baldry.
Councilman Baldry,
Yes.
Councilman Hoyt,
Yes.
Councilwoman DeShane.
Yes.
And Supervisor Duncan.
Yes. Resolution number 17 of 2023, setting the date and time for the town board meeting for the second Monday of each month at 7 p.m., except for October, which will be held Wednesday, October 11th, 2023, as per the attached schedule. I'd like to make a motion to adopt resolution number 17. May I have a second?
Yes.
Second by Councilman Hoyt.
Councilman Baldry,
Yes.
Councilman Hoyt,
Yes.
Councilwoman DeShane.
Yes.
And Supervisor Duncan.
Yes.
I thought he said don't even have to. The next
Are we
one.
omitting the next one?
Aren't you omitting the next one?
Yeah.
Yeah. You'll schedule workshops and special meetings as needed, but you do have to give notice and everything of that.
Sure,
as you
sure,
go
right.
through.
Absolutely.
But you're just not doing it right now.
Not gonna be regular with that.
Perfect.
So we don't have to do a vote on that.
Nope, you're just omitting it.
Okay, so now we're going to resolution 18. 17 got seconded by Pierce, yeah.
Good, good.
So number 18 of 2023, naming Pioneer Commercial Bank as the depository for the town of Grafton. I'd like to make a motion to name Pioneer Commercial Bank as our
That's
depository.
19, isn't it?
Is it?
No, you're still at 18 because you omitted, Steve. We omitted
So
one.
it's 18.
18, which names Pioneer Commercial Bank as the depository
And I'll
for the town of
second.
Grafton. Seconded by Councilwoman DeShane.
Councilman Baldry,
Yes.
Councilman Hoyt,
Yes.
Councilwoman DeShane.
Yes.
And Supervisor Duncan.
Yes. Resolution number 19, naming Amsure Insurance as agent for the town medical insurance. I'd like to make a motion to name Amsure Insurance as agent for our town medical insurance. May I have a second?
I'll second it.
All right, second by Councilman Baldry.
Councilman Baldry,
Yes.
Councilman Hoyt,
Yes.
Councilwoman DeShane.
Yes.
And Supervisor Duncan.
Yes. Resolution number 20 of 2023, authorizing the payment of all elected town officials as established in the 2023 budget. I'd like to make a motion to adopt resolution 20. May I have a second?
I'll second.
Okay.
Councilman Baldry,
Yes.
Councilman Hoyt,
Yes.
Councilwoman DeShane.
Yes.
Supervisor Duncan.
Yes. Resolution number 21 of 2023, accepting the Town of Grafton investment policy as outlined in section 27 of the Code of the Town of Grafton. I'd like to make a motion to adopt resolution 21. May I have a second?
I'll second.
Seconded by Councilwoman DeShane.
Councilman Baldry,
Yes.
Councilman Hoyt,
Yes.
Councilwoman DeShane.
Yes.
And Supervisor Duncan.
Yes. Resolution number 22 of 2023 accepts the Town of Grafton procurement policy as outlined in section 46 of the Code of the Town of Grafton. I'd like to make a motion to adopt resolution 22. May I have a second?
I'll second.
Seconded by Councilman Baldry.
Councilman Baldry,
Yes.
Councilman Hoyt,
Yes.
Councilwoman DeShane?
Yes.
Supervisor Dunn?
Yes. Excuse me, resolution number 23 of 2023, authorizing the town supervisor to open competitive bids involving public works and purchase contracts required to be advertised as stated in General Municipal Law 103, Section 2. I'd like to make a motion to adopt resolution 23. May we have a second?
I'll second.
Second by Councilwoman DeShane.
Councilman Baldry?
Yes.
Councilman Hoyt?
Yes.
Councilwoman DeShane?
Yes.
Supervisor Dunn?
Yes. Resolution number 24 of 2023 authorizes the payment of utility and insurance bills prior to audit. I'd like to make a motion to pass resolution number 24 of 2023. Second?
Second.
Seconded by Councilman Hoyt.
Councilman Baldry?
Yes.
Councilman Hoyt?
Yes.
Councilwoman DeShane?
Yes.
And Supervisor Dunn?
Yes. Resolution 25 of 2023 authorizes the deputy town supervisor to sign town checks in emergency situations. I'd like to make a motion to pass resolution 25. May I have a second?
I'll second.
Seconded by Councilwoman DeShane.
Councilman Baldry?
Yes.
Councilman Hoyt?
Yes.
Councilwoman DeShane?
Yes.
And Supervisor Dunn?
Yes. Resolution 26 of 2023 adopts the Town of Grafton 2022 fee schedule as the town fee schedule as of January 1st, 2023. I'd like to make a motion to adopt Resolution 26. May I have a second?
I'll second.
Seconded by Councilman Baldry.
Councilman Baldry?
Yes.
Councilman Hoyt?
Yes.
Councilwoman DeShane?
Yes.
And Supervisor Dunn?
Yes. All right, almost there, folks. Resolution 27 of 2023 authorizes the payment of full-time hourly employees, part-time hourly employees, and appointed employees as per the Town of Grafton 2023 budget. I'd like to make a motion to pass Resolution 27. May I have a second?
I'll second.
Seconded by Councilwoman DeShane.
Councilman Baldry?
Yes.
Councilman Hoyt?
Yes.
Councilwoman DeShane?
Yes.
And Supervisor Dunn?
Yes. And we have Resolution 28 of 2023, authorizing the Grafton Highway Superintendent to enter into a memorandum of agreement with all Rensselaer County towns and the County of Rensselaer for the sharing and use of equipment and man-hours. I'd like to make a motion to pass Resolution number 28. May I have a second?
Second.
Seconded by Councilman Hoyt.
Councilman Baldry?
Yes.
Councilman Hoyt?
Yes.
Councilwoman DeShane?
Yes.
Supervisor Dunn?
Yes. And then finally this evening, we have resolution number 29, which authorizes one-time payments to the VFW and the Grafton Fire Department after the receipt of taxes. I'd like to make a motion to adopt resolution 29. May I have a second?
I'll second.
Okay. Seconded by Councilman Baldry.
Councilman Baldry?
Yes.
Councilman Hoyt?
Yes.
Councilwoman DeShane?
Yes.
And Supervisor Dunn?
Yes.
We said 22, but we're not doing
Yeah.
Right.
Yep. All right, I would like to make a motion to adjourn our organizational meeting. May I have a second?
I will second.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
All right, right on time for our.
My phone, huh?
And you've already done the pledge and the call to order and roll call.
So just take it away.
Yep.
Okay, I'd like to call for a review and approval of minutes. We're looking at the public hearing of local law number 3, December 12th of 2022, the public hearing for local law number 4 of December 12th, 2022, and the town board meeting of December 12th, 2022, and our year-end meeting of December 28th, 2022. Any issues with any of those? Minutes? All right, I'd like to make a motion to accept, to approve the minutes as described. May I have a second?
I'll second.
Second by Councilman Blueprint. All in favor?
Aye.
They did a voice vote, all in favor. Pete seconded.
Okay. All right, reports and remittances from department heads and town committees. The supervisor's financial reports were just given to the board this evening. They were prepared over the weekend. So everyone has those, and I'll give them, or the town clerk has them as well, so they can be posted as part of tonight's agenda. Okay. All right, the town clerk's report.
Town clerk fees brought in 150, planning board brought in 10,542, which was reimbursement from RPA for legal services. Trash brought in $2,032. Building permits brought in $1,393. Highway reimbursement for an overpayment of a bill was $3,492.18. Total revenue for the month was $17,660.18. After paying Ag Markets $32 and NCON $18.90, the check going to the town supervisor was $17,609.28.
Okay. I'd like to make a motion to accept the town clerk's report. Can I have a second?
I'll second.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Highway superintendent.
Not a lot to report. Winter's been a little mellow so far. I'll take that as a win. Guys have been out patching potholes. Tomorrow we're gonna start cutting brush, just because we might as well keep moving forward. And the roads are frozen enough where we can drag the brush. If you do it when they're mud, we don't get a day out of the chipper blades because it drags it through. Otherwise, we'd already been out doing that. But other than that, I'd rather cut brush all winter than plow snow. And hopefully tonight we can vote on adding to another machine out there. It's a roller. Everybody that lives on a dirt road has noticed the last few years the roads have gotten considerably better, and the roller is a major piece. The one we got was a 1974, probably due to be updated. So the one we're looking at is just a 2012 or 2013. I forget which. There was a few bids, but nothing crazy fancy. But it'll suit our needs, and it's a whole lot newer and should do a lot better job, because the one we got is Army surplus. You can't buy the parts. A lot of times we got to make them, and when you're making things, it's down for quite a while, so it affects the town. So the ones we got, I mean, they're roughly 150 to 100,000 new. Went out, we got some bids for a couple 10-year-old machines. I don't think we need to spend huge money, but we have the money for it and saving. So we'll see how we make out with that. But other than that, I just assume cut brush all winter and then plow snow. So that's about it.
Thank you, Jared.
Okay, thank you. I don't have an assessor's report tonight, but just one thing I want to remind the board about with, do you remember Assessor Surprise coming to us and saying we needed a full reval for town? That's looming. We just have to, I hate to say bite the bullet on that one, but we have to figure it out. If what is going to happen, as described by Craig, is going to happen, we're going to be in a world of hurt.
So we're gonna have to figure the money out.
Yeah, exactly. So.
How soon?
ASAP, I'm thinking.
So real soon.
Very soon. Okay. Yeah, 170,000. All right, so we don't have a formal assessor's report. Buildings and code enforcement. I know Tom's
We
here.
have 54 permits out, finishing out the year. We have one new house started this year, so a lot of inquiries on new construction, so it's still staying busy.
Okay. All right, thanks, Tom. From the rescue squad this evening, the Grafton Rescue Squad Captain's Report for December, reporting total of 8 calls, 81 miles traveled, 18 hours expended. We had 1 Alpha, 3 Bravo, 2 Charlie, 2 Delta, 2 calls missed, 1 refused medical assistance, and 3 calls canceled. They went to Samaritan and Southern Vermont Medical Center once each. 6 calls were in the daytime and 2 calls were in the nighttime. There were 3 weekday calls, 1 weeknight call, 3 weekend day calls, and 1 weekend night call. Annual elections were held with the following results. Captain Tom Sullivan, First Lieutenant Andrea Chittenden, Second Lieutenant Jeremy Goss, President Melissa Reifenberg, Vice President Nancy Lewandowski, Secretary Andrea Chittenden, Treasurer Sonia Haber, and Sergeant at Arms Jeremy Goss. They list 2022 totals as 186 calls, 478 hours, and 3,815 miles. That is from the rescue squad for December. Is anyone here from the squad tonight? No? Okay. All right. Okay, dog control officer.
I didn't have any dog calls. We did just pass our ag markets inspection, and I attended a meeting in Postonville with, I think, 6 other towns, discussing the possibility of doing an animal or a dog shelter at the waste management facility. Waste management has 2 different buildings that we can consider. They have a meeting this week with ag markets and an engineer to see what the upgrades and repairs to either one of those buildings would cost. There would be a cost to the town. And they're looking right now just to deal with dogs, and they're trying to get, it was a very preliminary meeting, they're trying to get all the information together and brainstorming on what we would actually need to have. And so that's where we are with that.
When's the next meeting?
They have a meeting this week with ag markets and the engineer,
Yeah.
and then we're gonna be setting up another meeting after that.
And in the meantime, we're still completely secure with Columbia Green.
Right.
Right. So we have a place for our dogs.
Right, but it may give us a very cost-effective place for dogs that I may have for 1 or 2 days that would not require the person to go all the way to Columbia Green to get their dog. So it may be a very good possibility for us. But I think we're quite a distance from actually making this a reality.
Right. Really? What's your feeling?
Gotta start somewhere.
Right, right? Okay, all right, thanks for following up with that, Vicki.
Yes, thank you.
We don't have a report from the youth program director, however, we do have correspondence. Grafton Town Board, I have received from Noelle Boyer, youth director, the petty cash fund in the amount of $500, and was also notified that she will not be interested in continuing in the position as youth director. This was submitted by Town Clerk Victoria Burdick and duly signed by Noelle Boyer. So I'd like to thank her for her service to the town, and we have some considerations to make moving forward. So we'll be advertising for the position, figuring out any restructuring if need be, and moving from there. Okay, the library, Leanna, how are you making out with your mom?
Yeah, we've had some water in the basement twice this past week, but right now it's dry, so hopefully the board meeting is next week and I'll have to address it. We've had gutters put in, we've had drainage put in on the one side, but not the side that it's coming in the past. So it's coming in the corner, and some people think it's coming off the road, and it's coming in through the furnace room. So, but like a half a bucket. So it's not, it's kind of major. So checkouts, we had 627, ebooks 240, Hoopla participants 40, patron visits 177 adults, 19 children, 7 teens. We started a new Zumba 10-week session tonight. Thanks to Tom for letting us use the school, and we are doing themed story hours starting this Wednesday. So hopefully we'll get some more participation there. The after-school Legos strong. Tonight we had 13 kids. So that one's going good, but the homework club fizzled out.
Okay. What are the Zumba hours, Leanna?
6 to 6:45. It's a 10-week session, but we have enough people to offer the 10-week session, so we can also accept walk-ins now.
Okay. Yep. Okay, all right, thanks, Leanna. From the state park, I see Tamara here. Hey.
Hello. So as we all know, this winter has not been great. So unfortunately, we did have to postpone our ice fishing tournament. Originally scheduled for this Saturday is now going to be 2 Saturdays from now, the 28th of January. In the meantime, we do have our Winter Festival next weekend. We've had a lot of our a lot of our exhibitors that have come before will be coming again. So we'll have horse-drawn wagon rides, balloon animals, live reptiles, live birds of prey, chainsaw demos, and then the rest of it depends on snow and ice. So obviously we need to have safe ice in order to have the Capital District over here doing ice fishing demos. The polar plunge is theoretically going to happen. I think it will happen regardless of safety of ice, but I can double check on that. All of these things will be updated on our Facebook page. And then currently all of our ponds are closed for ice fishing with less than 6 inches of ice. Obviously that could change within a day or two. Facebook is the best place to find updates on that. There is some warm weather coming again later in this week, so it's really hard to say whether we're going to retain and get some more ice. And then up front there is Ice Fishing Winterfest and our general program flyer for January and February. And probably last thing is next week our SCA Student Conservation Association interns will start. So hopefully by the next meeting I'll have somebody sitting with me who's going to be my little mini-me and come to all these events with me. So, yeah.
Great. Great. Okay, thanks, Tamara. Okay, I don't see anyone from the Recreation Committee or Senior Representative or the Merrymakers. So, let's see. All right, under communications received, we've received from, the Department of State Division of Local Government Services is assisting New York Empire State Development in an effort to ensure that local input to update the FCC broadband map is timely and accurate. New York's allocation of federal funds for broadband deployment will be calculated based on the map. A more thorough depiction of unserved homes and businesses will yield a greater share federal funds to connect our counties, towns, and villages. ESD encourages you to partner with Connect All and encourage your local business owners and communities residents to review their address on the FCC National Broadband Map and submit a challenge if needed from their homes, businesses, smartphones, local library, or community-based organizations that have access to a computer terminal. The deadline for submitting a response is January 13th. And Vicki and I talked about this last week. We put it up on the website immediately, so the links are there for anyone who feels as though their broadband coverage or their internet coverage is not up to par, to please go to these links and report it. So that would give the community a more thorough depiction of where we're lacking in broadband access. So that's just kind of a public service announcement. We did the meeting in Post and Kill, right? Or broadband survey, right? And then the meeting in Post and Kill, we're good with that, right? Dog shelter. Right, old business. Excuse me. Under old business, I would just like to address something that was said at the last board meeting with regard to the audit that the town board commissioned from Faz Associates. I believe it was, in fact it was, Mrs. Goyer, Kathy Goyer, made the statement that the audit was worth it because the auditors were able to determine how to best go about balancing the books. We've been out of balance with kind of no idea why, what happened, what set them on kilter prior to this board, prior to my tenure as supervisor. And Mrs. Goyer made the statement that Faz was able to figure out how to get things in balance. And it didn't click with me at the moment, but the person that determined how to make the books balance was actually our present bookkeeper, Wendy Ashley. And we went back through and reviewed documentation and correspondence between she and Faz. And there's several emails where they say, wow, good call, Wendy. So I just wanted to make that clear that Faz, it was actually our own in-house bookkeeper that determined how to get those things to balance, and we're all, of course, grateful for it, because they balance.
And I did call a couple accountants to see if they would be interested in doing, to get prices, but they work with Wendy.
They work with it, oh, okay, great.
Yeah, he was gonna call me back with different names, but I haven't heard back from him.
Okay, to do an audit for this year? Is
Yeah.
that what you're thinking?
Actually, the supervisor advised me that Wendy is capable of doing the controller's audit. That's the
Right.
one we were talking about, so I don't think the
That's-
town is gonna be
right.
looking for anyone to do that.
Exactly.
Right?
No, right.
But, yeah, she did it last year. She did, in the first year, she did the 2021 audit.
Right.
So
That's good.
Yeah,
Because
so-
I think the others, they were.
they were pricey.
Yeah.
They were, absolutely, yes, absolutely pricey. All right, does anyone else have old business before we move on to public comment? No? Okay. All right, we're at public comment, which is privilege of the floor. Reminder that public comment is limited to 5 minutes per person. Be mindful that that the public comment portion of the meeting is privileged. Just get over it, okay? Come on. All right, all comments and statements shall be directed to the town board. Please refrain from any personal attacks, name calling, or derogatory public comments toward individuals. All right. Yes. Mr.
Madam
Buckley.
Supervisor, I just wanted to question something on old business. It says here ethics board appointment. Is there any particular reason that that's been skipped over?
On old business.
I don't have that on my,
I don't have that. Oh,
Okay, maybe we had different agendas, perhaps?
okay.
no.
Just a little asterisk next to it.
Okay, gotcha.
Okay, so where are we with that?
I understand that 2 remaining ethics board members put a letter in mailboxes, but I haven't been privy to that. I didn't get
That's what
that.
went in yours.
Okay, I just didn't get it. It wasn't there, so.
If you'd like me to comment, I will.
Actually, this is my time, sir. My next question is if we're not going to appoint someone tonight and the paperwork and the agenda is not correct, can you tell me how long the ethics board's appointments are appointed for?
There until they resign, according to the
So they can
district.
sit forever, is that a correct statement? Okay. And is there, so there's no time limit, so they don't get reappointed at the organizational meeting? Okay. Can you tell me, Madam Town Clerk, if the board that's there was also reappointed last year, or is that not true based upon what you've said now?
They were not reappointed due to the fact that they don't, once they are appointed, they are the ethics board forever.
Okay, and that would kind of clear up some of what took place last month, correct?
Right.
Okay.
Correct.
And could you tell me, because you are the one who controls the records of the town, could you tell me who submitted the resolution last month for admonishing the town supervisor? You are the keeper of the records, because if not, I can simply request that. And actually, that would have solved a lot of problems last month if you had just spoken up on behalf of the residents as to who submitted that.
Right, and I understand that. But
Okay.
as I understand public comment, we're not supposed to make comments.
But you can. We are the residents of the town, and we have asked repeatedly. Mr. Town Attorney didn't want to play a role in that. The members of the board didn't want to answer that, and it would have been a great time for you to do that, Madam Town Clerk. So that's why I'm going to ask you again. Can you tell us who submitted the resolution to your office to be placed on the agenda for the resolution to admonish the town supervisor?
I do believe it was Councilman Lewandowski had a role in it. I'm telling you this from, I do not know if the town attorney typed anything on that or if that was just something that Mr. Lewandowski, Councilman Lewandowski.
Okay, well, I'm looking to get to the bottom of that, because I want to know if the town attorney wrote it or if Mr. Lewandowski wrote it. And you should know that, and you should have that in your records.
If I look at my emails, I probably could tell you, or
Okay.
if I got it by email, if I just got it put in my box, I don't know if I could answer that right away.
Okay, all right. At this point, a lot of this could have been solved had you just done what we were asking for, and instead it's been put on the back burner. So I guess that leads me to my very next question, which is, can you tell me, Madam Supervisor, if you forwarded to the District Attorney's Office the resolution to have the town supervisor investigated? Has that been done?
You just said, Madam
Yeah, you were just-
Supervisor, I think
Okay,
you
Madam
meant.
Town Clerk, whoever, does somebody want to answer that? I don't care who answers it. You can too, Mr. Attorney. You can do that. If somebody want to answer that, has that been forwarded to the District Attorney's Office?
Yes, it has.
Okay, thank you. I yield back the floor and I would also like to keep the remainder of my time.
Okay, anyone else from the floor tonight? Yes, Ann Calabro.
So, once again, the forensic audit said that they would propose that the town utilize a ticket system where residents can purchase tags ahead of time. And because they're sequentially numbered, the town could easily confirm the number of bags received by recording the tag numbers. And this would reduce the risk of fraud and errors occurring. This goes along with dual entry accounting, where you have, it should always zero out. You should always have money coming in and where it's assigned. So going back through the records for the recycling, in 2017, there were 107 transactions, I'm assuming they're transactions, for $23,510. 2018 were 99 transactions for $25,470. 2019, 168 transactions for $28,796. 2020 went back down to 104 transactions, came up to 36,563. 2021, 101 transactions for $36,590.74. And this year, for 2022, again, there were 101 transactions, but I'm missing the last 2 weeks, for $30,525.66. There's $6,000 less now, and every year it goes up, except for this year. If we had the ticket system going, this would not be an issue, because you would know this is how much money came in, this is where it went. These are how many outstanding tickets we have. But we don't have that. So once again, I won't say the words because someone objects to them, but it looks hinky, okay? If you don't want to have it looking hinky, you ought to take care of it. It has now been 10 months since you got the audit. Mr. Beaudry has informed me that you haven't talked about it because you don't have a plan. But there's a plan in the audit. It's been told to you what you need to do, and you still haven't talked about it. And I don't think that's right. That's it. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. Thank you, Ann. All right, anyone else from the floor tonight? Yes, Nancy Palish-LaRock.
I just was wondering, last meeting, they said that they have not received a bill from the attorney on the other, for the ethics committee. Can you tell us if we've received a bill for that attorney yet?
We have, yes, and it's in the packet of tonight's bills to be paid.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, we did. Okay.
Mine were already, Goldberg's already, yeah.
All right, who else from the floor? Yes, Mr. Munn, John Munn.
Yeah, just a couple things. On December 10th, I sent an email to the board, to the county, to the town clerk, and that apparently was not related to the motion on December 12th. And that letter apparently was not read into the record on December 12th. And I sent it by email. Pierce Hoyt's correspondence was returned to me because the mailbox was filled, but I didn't get return on anybody else's. And my correspondence was not read into the record. So, and I sent it to all the townspeople, to the board and to the town clerk on the county website. So, I don't know why it was returned. I don't know why it wasn't addressed. Well, Pierce's was returned because your mailbox is filled.
I did get the letter.
Okay. Well, I received communication that it wasn't received because your mailbox was filled. So I don't know what happened, but there's a problem apparently with email on a Saturday and not being addressed on a Monday evening's meeting. Now, another question I have and this was just raised, can you tell us what the legal fee was for the ethics lawyer's investigation or for his summary? Can anybody address that? What the town is going to be on the hook for that fiasco?
Do you know?
Your lawyer was approximately around 4,000, correct?
Right, yes.
And the bill we just got was like 5,000?
Yes. Like,
So are the townspeople, is it coming out of taxes to pay 2 lawyers or 1 lawyer? Both lawyers, okay. I think that's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you, John. Anyone else from the floor tonight? Yes, Donna Baldwin.
In review of your rescue squad report, you had mentioned that the squad reported that they missed 2 calls in December. Has there been any correspondence with the squad? Because to my knowledge, we're the 9th day of the month and they've missed 7 calls in the new year. We're only 9 days in. Are they out of service or what?
I don't know. No correspondence from them. Have you heard anything? No. I understand that there are a few community members have reached out to me to say what's happening. We were thinking new commanders, but no idea why. I know Pittsdown's had to come up.
Pittsdown's been here twice. Taconic Valley's been here 3 times. Mohawk has been here twice.
I'm kind of surprised not to see anyone from the squad here tonight, just given that we have all new officers.
Taconic Valley was here today again.
Yeah, I was gonna say they had one call, they put out 4 calls, and no answer.
The Mohawk was here today too.
I don't have an answer to that.
Okay. I haven't heard anything through the county as the deputy EMS coordinator, so I was just wondering, we have a meeting planned in 3 weeks, and I just didn't know if you had any information that you wanted me to pass along. Okay,
I don't.
thank you.
All right, anyone else from the floor tonight? Yes.
I just have a question. The Advertiser, is that a weekly newspaper also?
Yes.
Is that going to propose a problem if we end up, if the town has to have a special meeting with both papers being weekly papers?
Special meetings, though, we can advertise by hanging stuff in public places.
And
right?
put on the website, you have to put it on the website, you have to post it here at Town Hall.
If it's truly a special meeting, we usually know a week or 2 in advance. We can get them. Emergency meetings.
You don't have
it's
that
totally
requirement.
different. We don't even have to worry about
Hopefully
it.
we would know in our monthly meeting if we have to have it too.
So,
thank you.
All right, anyone else from the floor today? Mr. Douglas, Chuck Douglas.
Yeah, so I can't help but notice a difference this week, this meeting versus the last. One big difference I've noticed is that as the public's asking questions, people are actually answering some questions on the board, and so I guess my comment would be that I know there's been kind of a advisement from the town attorney to like that you don't have to respond to questions, and I understand why that is and how that comes about, but I just want to encourage the board to continue doing what is done tonight, because I think the more back and forth conversation we have with the public, that's going to help you understand how you can represent the public better. So I just wanted to say that, because I think it's really bad when you don't have that communication, because honestly it leads to things like people are going to assume you're hiding something, or when you're quiet and you don't respond to anything. That's something people can interpret that 100 ways, and they're usually not good ways. So I'd just like to encourage that more as we go forward.
Thank you. Okay. Anyone else from the floor tonight? Yes.
Yeah, I
Mr.
just wanted to touch base with Mr. Munn's comment about email. We had talked about that in the past, and that we were having problems getting emails. Has that problem been remedied? And has Tom gotten any emails? Does Tom have a new email that's public? Because I know that issue was brought up too before, where Tom doesn't have an email. No? Still don't feel the need to get the code enforcement
No, I
officer?
think the code enforcement officer should have an email.
Okay,
But I think, or the issue we have with Spectrum email is it's woefully short on bytes.
Well, apparently it's not too good getting emails to Mr. Hoyt either. And yet, you know, I'm wondering at what point are we gonna solve this problem? We're living in like the 18th century, but, you know, Tom can have an email. He's only the code enforcement officer, he's the building inspector, he's the chairman of the planning board. Do we not think he needs an email? No? Anybody on this board think that?
No, we should. I look at this, you know, and again, I get my emails from different places.
Right.
That come through the system.
Well, I know, but this, Mr. Hood, has been brought up year after year, this issue.
Yeah.
And it just seems like no one really cares about solving it. So, you know, Mr. Munn, he's a gentleman who's recently, you know, decided to participate. He's written letters to be added into the record, and the town clerk doesn't include it, or even, has it been included in this one, in the corrections? Has Mr. Munn's email been corrected in the approved minutes?
It was included in the minutes that I posted. I have to check the time that I got his email on Saturday.
Okay, but I would think that the corrections would at least contain it today, because that was just done, correct?
Right.
Okay, so the answer is the correct?
No.
Okay, so his stuff wasn't included.
No, but I did include it on the website with the,
All right, but he wanted it included in the record.
I gotcha, I got what you're
I
saying.
know, but he didn't get that. So
Okay.
how are we gonna do that for him? No, it's not argumentative, sir. It's very matter of fact. He has a problem, we're looking for a remedy.
You're not being
He's not
argumentative
getting
at
it.
all.
All right,
I'm being an advocate for him and everybody
Wait,
else.
wait, I think let me just ask, I need to pick our attorney's legal brain. Is there any requirement that a town that has official email accounts, official paid for with taxpayer dollar email accounts, that the town officials have to use that email account? Or is it acceptable to have side accounts that are, for instance, we're albany.twcbc.com. We have a few side accounts that are Gmail that I'm noticing. We had a fresh one just crop up. So are we compelled legally to use the one that we pay for?
I will have to get back to you
For
because
officials?
certain places, their emails don't work so well, so the people have their own independent email. So I don't know if they have to use them.
Why are we paying for
Yeah, me
it?
too, yeah, I only use the town one.
If they have a separate one, they can ask the town officials to post that as the email for people to use.
Okay.
Well, it would be really nice if you guys could give Tom an email. I'm sure he'd love to be able to get, Tom's great at calling people, that I can take back. But we need to create records so that, you know, you can make the phone calls you want, but, you know, in the past, we've seen where this has gone. People were issuing certificates that weren't even legit. So, you know, there's a history here that needs to try to, you know, we need to start doing this right. And records do that. Emails help. And he should have one, and Mr. Munn should have his email included in the record. Simple as that. I yield back the floor. We can do better.
Thank you. Mr. Munn.
Yeah, I would just like to comment that when I sent that email off, I used the email addresses that were on the town's website.
Yes.
I don't know that you have a Gmail address or a Hotmail address. I don't know what you got, but I used what I thought was the official email address to contact the representatives, the government representatives for the town. And it's posted on the town's website. You can get free email addresses if you want to use Gmail. And, you know, maybe you want to do that. I don't know, but, you know, the public needs to know how to get in touch with you guys. And you can do it free, or you can do it through the Time Warner site you got. But there should be no reason why you're limited with space, or why like a PDF file can't get through, or, you know, I'm just dumbfounded that I've been using email for 20 some odd years, and more than that. And, you know, we can't get it. You know, and it's ironic because we're talking about, you're asking us residents to use the internet to contact people if we have poor internet service. And it's just, it's kind of like, there's irony in it. Yeah. Okay, thank you.
Can I just clarify, didn't you all at one point discuss buying additional email lines or something. It was a big, long discussion. Mr. Lewandowski presented it. You were contacting different companies to get pricing to add additional email accounts because you didn't have enough. Am I correct?
You are absolutely correct.
You're right.
Right?
You're sure.
So what happened with that? You made a motion to pursue it, I believe, and you all voted, so you made the motion, but never followed through?
Honestly, you know what, I'd have to look back at that to see.
I mean, he even had, if memory serves me correctly, some days it's better than others, he had the pricing. He had broken down pricing, and I think he had quotes from 2 companies, maybe? Yes? Somebody help me out here?
I think it was too.
It was decided they didn't need it at the time. I was here when it was decided, and it was decided that what they had was okay, and that they would just continue using what they had. And if they didn't like it, then a few of them have gone off and done Gmail accounts.
So
that
what-
have been, one of them has been, I think 1 out of 5 has a Gmail account. And like the dog warden created a Gmail account.
So what was presented to us in a motion put in place and you all voted on never really took place. And if we didn't have this discussion tonight, those of us that are sitting here would think that you had in fact pursued your additional Spectrum or whatever company it was and paid your extra money for your extra lines, but now we're being told that didn't happen. But you made a motion and voted on it. Do happen.
I mean, if we can focus as much as we can on doing, the things we're doing, spending all this money for attorneys, we can spend the money to get a couple emails for towns, so we can generally talk to the public. I don't think we're asking too much, and I just, once again, I'm going to remind you, please, let's remember to do the people's work. Thank you, I yield back to the board.
Thank you.
Anyone else from the floor tonight?
I just want to follow up on one of Ann's questions about the trash. When is there going to be a decision made on that as to if there's going to be anything done and have the policy made up and for the trash?
Anyone else want to address that?
I mean, how are we doing it right now? I mean, how are we making records on it?
Yeah, we keep records. How many bags of
That's
trash
not,
come in?
I didn't say are we, I asked how are we keeping record? I mean, are you having a sticker for every bag that comes in? Or
We have
are
one
you
sticker
taking a
At the end of the day
day's?
for trash.
Pardon me?
We have one sticker at the end of the day for total numbers of trash. Everything else is kept separate. The construction debris, there's no set price on that. It depends on how much they have. So I keep construction debris separate, I keep tires separate. Everything else is trash. Everything else goes to trash.
Okay, and like, there's different prices for different things for trash, correct? So how do we keep
No,
track of that?
It's $4 a bag for trash.
I thought for the bigger
Or
bag it's
$8
8.
for a construction bag.
Okay. And how is that kept track of? Do you mark them down?
I just told you. I keep track of the separate things that have to be paid. Construction debris,
So how do you balance at the end of the day? If you don't keep track of how many bags of garbage comes in versus other stuff, I understand that's totally separate, okay? But if you're charging the town people $4 for one bag and $8 for the other, how do you know how many bags of 8 and how many bags of 4 you get?
it all goes in as trash, total numbers. It goes in, construction debris is set aside. Like I said, tires are set aside. Refrigerators, anything special, TVs, things like that are all kept separate. They're totaled up at the end of the day. Everything over that is trash and is divided by $4, and that's how many bags we put in.
Well, how can that be? Because that's not keeping the record straight. If you've got some bags at 4 and some bags at 8, and you're putting them all in as 4, that doesn't make sense. That's not counting
There's
in.
very, very few bags of 8. very few. You got maybe 2 people in town that come in with $8 bags. That's it. Everybody else is a $4
So you think
bag.
because there's only a few that it's not necessary to keep track of it?
I keep track of every bit of cash that comes in.
No, I'm not
there.
talking about the cash. I'm talking about the 4 bags for the say $8 bags. You said there's only a few. You're basically saying it doesn't matter. Because how do you take it when you have an $8 bag and then divide it by 4 and it sounds like you had 2 $4 bags? I mean, I thought we were gonna get a ticket system. Didn't we talk about that, that we were gonna do that after the audit? And I'm not saying anything that is being stolen or anything. That is not where my mind's going. Where my mind's going is because the town has had so many problems with so many things, with records, that I don't want to see somebody else in the town board get blamed for doing something wrong when it's not the truth. It's just that the records are not straight. That's the only reason why I'm bringing this up.
There's any number of ways to look at doing tickets, none of which are gonna be easy. Because people are gonna show up over there and say, I didn't get any tickets this week. You mind if I bring them next week? You're gonna see it. I see it now. I see people
Okay,
come
but
over there
there's-
now and say, I didn't bring no money. I'll have
Okay,
to
but
come
there's
back."
policies and procedures in effect that says if you don't have a ticket, you don't leave your garbage. I mean, I know that sounds gruff, but for record purpose only.
I'll figure it out.
That's the only reason I'm bringing it up, because I just don't want to see anybody else being dragged under the rug for something that's not happening.
Just don't forget an audit, the audit said recommendations. It
Right.
didn't say you as the board had to do everything that they recommended. It was,
We don't have a date to have it done.
it was a
or-
recommendation, not a mandate.
Right.
And I understand that, okay? But it had been brought up by the board in the past that they were gonna be doing tickets. That's the
Well,
reason why I'm
it was
asking about
discussed.
it. It was discussed,
It was
exactly.
discussed.
All right, one more. Mr. Munn.
I've got a background in auditing and in accounting, and for $4, I can't see the need for a whole lot of auditing procedures on something like this. We're taking money in, and if you're gonna take tickets, somebody's gonna have to inspect every bag to make sure there's a ticket on every bag that goes into the trash. So it becomes counterproductive at some point. But I understand the need or the desire for accountability. So I think maybe if you sat down as the board and maybe came up with some guidelines, get some of us involved and see what we can come up with and brainstorm, and maybe work on something, and it's got to be simple though. Whatever it comes up with, it's got to be, hell, I've gone to Steve and said, shit, I don't have my I only have $3 in my pocket. I thought I had more. Steve, when you take the bag, and the next week I came in, I gave him an extra $1. And this is what happens. We're a small community. Does anybody give a shit about whether or not we actually pay $4 or $3 and we come back the next week? Does anybody really care about $1? Hell, eggs are $5 a dozen, $6 a dozen now. We're talking about the value of 2 eggs. Some of this gets really immaterial. Now, from Steve's perspective, Steve's handling cash. He's handling a lot of cash. From our perspective, as looking at Steve handling cash is easily pocketed. I'm not saying you are, Steve. I'm saying there's a perception when people handle cash. And the problem is that to protect Steve, we should be coming up with some kind of approach that makes it easy, that facilitates convenience for everybody, and especially for Steve, because we don't want to take his time to have to audit and count numbers of bags that are going into a dumpster. That is counterproductive also. His time is valuable. We pay for his time. And you don't want to spend a lot of money having somebody chase around for $1.
And I totally understand that.
Exactly. So why don't we come together and see if we can come up with something that works? and, you know, just see what everybody's perceptions are. I have no problems, for instance, I don't believe that anybody is pocketing any money, but it's the appearance of an impropriety that everybody has to look out for. But it's difficult. You know, whether you use a ticket system or something else, whatever system you use has got to get reconciled, and that's going to take time on somebody's part. And then you have to ask, okay, the numbers don't balance. What do we do? You know, and you know, and just like any cashier at Price Chopper or any bank teller, you end up having overages and underages, shortages at some point, and you just decide, you live with it. If it's less than $10, whatever, we don't worry about it. But the trouble we have really is that any system we come up with is really difficult to audit and verify. You know, and I think what we should do is try to come up with something that works to eliminate this appearance of impropriety. And it could be as simple as, you know, Steve's taking numbers now. He's checking off the number of bags on a list that he creates, but I don't get a receipt. So there's no independent verification for me as the customer coming in and showing that, yeah, I gave Steve 1 bag, he's giving him a receipt for 1 bag. You know, so that doesn't protect him because he's not giving me something that I can verify. And I don't really care. I don't really, you know, I give Steve the $5 and the $4, and I don't worry about it.
So John, no matter what we do, somebody is going to be handling cash.
Right.
Correct.
And that's going to be the way we're going to run the recycling center.
Correct.
And that's where we're at.
Right.
So we could have a committee that's going to come up with a ticket or something, but somebody in our system is going to be handling cash.
And that's not the problem. The problem is reconciling whatever ticket and procedure you come up with the cash. And that's, it shouldn't be that difficult. It could be as simple as writing out a receipt book for everybody and giving a receipt to everybody who comes in the door. Just like when you go to a restaurant and they give you a receipt for when you go get, the waitress gives you a receipt. And there's 2 copies there, you get 1. So the waitress
Some of those examples, if I may, some of those examples are a little simplified when you're talking about municipal government and how you need to account for things. So there are many communities around us that are cash free. They deal with tickets and they have great systems in place. Berlin and Petersburg come to mind. The Berlin transfer station. I'm sure we can find something that will work. That will be.
Berlin Transfer Station has 4 employees every time they're open.
Understood.
To handle that.
Right, sure.
It's already given out receipts to everybody. You know, Nancy, I've never seen you over there, so you don't know how things are. It's crazy over there sometimes.
I have been there, Steve, and I have
Absolutely
brought
crazy.
stuff up, and I know.
You know, 6,
I
8,
know
10
it.
cars there at a time. You know, people throwing refrigerators here and metal here and trash here. And, you know, it's crazy.
I understand that,
So,
because I
to
have
be
been
able
there,
to
you
have to
haven't
sit
seen me there, but.
And give each person a receipt.
Well, that's what I'm gonna say, the receipt would be more work than having the ticket system. As far as I'm concerned, if a person.
You know, I'm all for a ticket system if you can find something that works, but I don't want to have to be over there, you know, saying, okay, I'll write you down, you owe me 3 tickets next week for this week, you know, or something like that.
You don't take the trash if you don't have the ticket.
Sure, as we're sitting here, it's
If we
gonna
can
happen.
put a man on the moon, we can figure this out.
But, you
We
know,
can get Tom an email.
We all know we need something in place, so. Okay.
Steve, do you take the credit cards over there for trash now that you have the credit card system?
We have the credit card system though, right?
So why can't we do that for trash?
Because right now, we're just trying to get this up and running, make sure we can run it, and then we agreed that we would move forward.
No, they don't wanna pay
Cards for
extra
everything.
interest
How
on
many people actually
getting rid of a
have
bag of garbage either.
How many people
Almost
pay
nobody.
cash?
Okay.
I don't wanna do credit card for free.
Parking receipt, Troy, for $1.
Okay.
You guys can't.
All right, anyone else tonight from the floor? Yes.
Just one quick thing on the, back to the email conversation. Just you know, in general, just for emails, you know, when you look at a company has a domain name, whatever it be, Amazon.com or whatever the case might be. So it makes a company a professional organization, and everyone in that company gets email, that works for that company gets email at that address. I think a similar idea would be really good. I mean, you can see it, you know, townofhalfmoon.org, you know, everyone's got an email at townofhalfmoon.org. You know, other towns certainly do this all the time. I personally work for a company that I I could not get business emails at my personal email. That wouldn't be allowed. I think that's just part of being, part of a professional organization. So just my opinion, but I'd highly recommend that we have one domain that we have for the town of Grafton, and we all use those emails on that domain to come across the public as a professional organization, which we're not.
Thank you. Thank you. All right, anyone else from the floor tonight? All right, okay. Thank you for everyone's comments. All right. Moving on to, okay. This is resolution number 29, Vicki?
30.
30? Okay, resolution number 30 of 2023. This has to do with our American Rescue Plan Act funds that were received by the town. Whereas on March 11th, 2021, the American Rescue Plan Act, ARPA, was signed into law by the President. Section 9901 of ARPA amended Title VI of the Social Security Act to add Section 602, which established the Coronavirus State Fiscal Recovery Fund, and Section 603, which established the Coronavirus Local Fiscal Recovery Funds, together the Fiscal Recovery Funds. The Coronavirus Local Fiscal Recovery Funds was established to provide support to local governments, recipients, to respond to the impacts of COVID-19 on communities, residents, and businesses. And whereas Section 602C1 and 603C2 provides that funds may be used to A, respond to public health emergency or its negative economic impacts, including assistance to households, small businesses, and nonprofits, or aid to impacted industries such as tourism, travel, and hospitality. B, to respond to workers performing essential work during the COVID-19 public health emergency by providing premium pay to eligible workers. Or C, for the provision of government services to the extent of the reduction in revenue due to the COVID-19 public health emergency relative to revenues collected in the most recent full fiscal year prior to the emergency. Or D, to make necessary investment in water, sewer, or broadband infrastructure. And whereas the town of Grafton has been notified by the Department of the Treasury of ARPA funding in the amount of $221,127.54 payable in 2 tranches. The town of Grafton is in receipt of all the tranches in the amount of $221,127.54. And whereas the town of Grafton hereby designates and authorizes the following transfers and use of the aforementioned ARPA funding as per the requirements for use of the stated funds under Section 602 and 603 as set forth above, and good cause appearing therefore. Now therefore be it resolved that the town of Grafton hereby resolves as follows. Resolve to increase 2022 budget line 1620.4 Buildings, CE, by $13,731.26 for the purpose of upgrades and repairs to the town hall. And resolve to increase 2022 budget line 4540.4 Ambulance CE by $7,424.61 for the purpose of upgrades and repairs to the ambulance building. And resolve to increase 2022 budget line 5132.4 Highway Department CE by $98,942.27 for the purpose of upgrades and repairs to the highway garage. And resolve to increase 2022 budget line 6772.4 Programming for Aging CE by $762.50 for the purpose of upgrades and repairs to the senior center building. And resolve to increase 2022 budget line 7110.4 Parks CE by $21,000 for the purpose of upgrades and repairs to the basketball courts. And resolve to increase 2022 budget line 8160.4 Refuse and Garbage CE by $38,849.16 for the purpose of upgrades and repairs to the recycling center. This resolution actually requires an additional motion added to it to increase A4089 federal aid by $180,710.40, which is the exact amount of the expenditure so far. So this is just to keep things in balance. So I'd like to make a motion to adopt Resolution 30 of 2023 as concerns ARPA expenditures. May I have a second?
I'll second it.
Seconded by Councilman Beaudry.
Councilman Baldry?
Yes.
Councilman Hoyt,
Yes.
Councilwoman DeShane,
Yes.
and Supervisor Dudley.
Yes. All right, great, thank you for that. Vicki, I have motion to pay bills as audited, vouchers 1 through 32 for $24,981.09.
Correct.
All right, I'd like to make a motion to pay the bills as audited, vouchers 1 through 32 for a total of $24,981.09. May I have a second?
I'll second
All
that.
right, seconded by Councilwoman DeShane.
Councilman Baldry,
Yes.
Councilman Hoyt,
Yes.
Councilwoman DeShane,
Yes.
Supervisor Dudley.
Yes. All right, announcing upcoming meetings, our next town board meeting will be February 13th, 2023 at 7 PM. Does anyone have anything they'd like to add under legislative privilege this evening?
I do.
You do.
I apologize to everybody. I did not get it to Vicky for getting it on the agenda, but we probably should vote on that roller because those bids are not good for months on end. I know we talked about it, you guys have the bids. I meant to email Vicky and ask her to please put it under new business, and I'll own it. I apologize to everybody. I didn't, it's not her fault, it's mine, so.
Is rescue plan funds paying for the steam blower? Simple question.
No, not at all. Not even
So
close.
it's coming out of the.
Phil, what would you recommend?
Yeah,
If
yeah.
it's an emergency, you can do it.
It's not an
It's not an
emergency, but.
emergency.
If it's not an emergency, then you gotta wait. Either you can schedule a special meeting to deal with it, or you wait till the next meeting.
Okay.
What's the cost?
I'm sick of money being spent, but it's not voted on.
That's why I'm all for voting on it back. If you got something to say, let's talk about it.
No,
Motion
okay,
to
okay,
adjourn.
yep, all right. Does anyone have anything
Promoted.
up here of legislative privilege tonight? No? All right. I'd like to make a motion to adjourn in loving memory of Jason Rod, who was the uncle of Jared Bouchard and Jeremy Goss, and also in memory of Tom Stoll, who is uncle to Jim Goyer and a member of the Goyer family in town. May I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thanks, folks.
Yes, wife went in the shower. Good. She went in the shower.